A very good morning, students. As you know, we had already started with chapter number 7, Bravo Amir Agha. As I told you in the previous module that this is about, the story is about two boys, Amir, the son of the rich businessman, and Hassan, their servant's son. This story is an extract from the story written by Khalid Hosni, The Kite Runner, and this story is set up in Afghanistan, the capital of Afghanistan, Kabul. This extract is talking about a competition, a local competition of kite flying, and where this Amir has taken part. And as I told you that Amir's father, whom they all called Baba, never actually appreciated his son's capabilities. He used to think that his son is not capable, he should be as capable as Hassan, and he actually supported little bit Hassan, and sometimes Amir used to complain about Hassan because they are of the same age. So as you know, in class also you people have sometimes very trivial issue, very small petty issues you find between your friend, amongst your friends, and you bring these problems to the teacher, or you go to principal sir, or you at home also you may discuss with your parents, but we the elders think that these are very petty issues or something which should not be taken so seriously. So maybe sometime you feel little hurt that our elders did not pay attention to our thing and did not scold my friend or my even my brother or my sister like this. You might be having a little same thing. Hassan also, as they used to live, Hassan and Amir used to live in the same house. They had some fights maybe, and this Amir used to bring those issues to his father, but father always supported Hassan and did not scold as Amir wanted. So Amir had a little bit of grievance against his father. So he was there in this competition of kite flying to prove to his Baba that he is capable of doing many things. And the competition started when there were more than 50 kites in the sky, and slowly they reduced, and lastly it was only the blue kite and the kite of Amir, and lastly, as I told you, that Amir was able to cut the kite, and of course Hassan was helping. That you have to catch the thread, and you have to pull, and you have to lead the thread, and this type of things. There are some tacks to play kite or fly kites actually. So they both were doing. At last Amir won the competition, and Hassan was also very, very happy, very excited, and he ran with the last cut kite, and said, "Bravo, Amir." So in this story, in the first paragraph, they talk about that how Amir was having cuts in his fingers, and there is blood tickling on the index finger, and it was tickling means it was coming out and like flowing on his palm, and he blotted. How you blot? Like you when there is a cut, you take the cotton and press it to suck the blood. But there was no cotton at that time. They were on the terrace, as I have shown you this picture. They were in the terrace, so he sucked the blood and then he blotted jeans. He had jeans, and he did like this, he was wearing some jeans trousers, so he put his fingers there so that the blood can suck in that clothes, okay. And then they were dwindling and they were cutting and they were done. Then from 50 it became dozen means 12, and from 12 they were 10, like this. It was going on drifting, and people were wearing coats and scarves because it was winter time, and as you know, Kabul is situated in the Himalayan range, and it was cold, very cold in that place. And there was a hope in Amir's mind that he may win the competition, and he was asking, how many has he cut? Hassan was asking, and Amir asked that how many has he cut, that they were asking because there were so many, and Hassan said, I counted 11, and then you know whose kite is that? They said, no. They were talking about that blue kite, which was very strong competitor in that kite flying competition. And there were hordes of people, and there were smell of food being, people, as you know, during Uttarayan also, people take the food there and eat. And so there were smell of pakoras and mantu. Mantu is actually a kind of a dish eaten by these people of Afghanistan. It's a pastry, you all know cake and pastry you eat. And there were pakoras and music, loud music was playing, and they were listening to the music, and they were all, exhausted, but trying to give the last fight. And he was telling me God is there, because it has been taught in their school that God is there. He said, if God is there, I have to prove to my Baba, and I want to show him that I can do something, I can achieve something, and he must be very happy with me and admiring me. And then he says that let wind support me, because that is very important, the direction of wind when you fly kite. So it helps actually the kites to fly in that direction, and cutting the kites also, others' kite also. So he looped, you understand by loop, you leave little loose so that you cut it like a, slice it, as if with the knife you cut, and then at last, in the last paragraph, they talk that cut, kill, and they were, even there is one word given here, Boborish. Now, Boborish means in Afghanistan, means Afghan language, it means cut him. So lastly, he is able to cut the blue kite, and he's the winner. So this is all about the story. Children, you please read the story in the textbook. You will be able to understand it much better. Some of the new words are written on the board. Please have a look. Triumphantly, great excitement after victory. Like you have watched the cricket match or football match, when Virat Kohli wins the tournament, he holds the MS Dhoni, he holds the trophy, and he is triumphant, very excited after winning the competition, after the victory. Gash, G-A-S-H, gash means a deep open cut. I told you they were fly kites. So you must have seen after Uttarayan, people have cuts in their fingers, and really people are scared to go out because that thread of the kite is very sharp. It even cuts your throat, or even animals, they die, that. Dwindle means grew less in size. As I told you, in the beginning there were 50 kites and grown less, and then only dozen, and then 10, then 4, and lastly it was 2, and then Amir wins. Havoc means great destruction or damage. The rain played a havoc, and there was flood and all that. So great damage. Hordes means crowd or large number of people. Favored, in support of somebody. When you support somebody, you are in favor of somebody. and taught me. Tout. Tout means very tight. Okay. I'll do the next set of new words. Save from a sin, like those people, like Gautam Buddha or Jesus Christ or Muhammad or Ram or Krishna, they are saved from any sins. They don't do any sins. Means any something which is not good job did, a thing which we should not do. Okay, that in Hindi we say paap. So saved from a sin, redemption, freed from one sin. You are free, not doing any sin. So you reach that level where you are saved from this thing. Endure. Endure means to bore patiently, to bear something. Bore is the past tense of bear. Bore patiently means to bear patiently. Student, coming to the next set of new words, it is salvation, saved from a sin. Sin means something which we should not do. Like something bad we should not do. Like in Hindi you say paap. Okay. Redemption, free from one sin, so you are free. So these things he talked about, that he should not do anything bad, or he should be freed from all these things have been taught to him in school. Endure, bore patiently. Bore is the past tense of bear, and something you patiently you bear it and you don't be excited or impatient. Maneuver means to move and turn skillfully, like some people are sitting on the floor, or some things are there on the floor, and you do like this and you go without getting hit by those people, skillfully driving the vehicle also. Here it is, they were talking about the flying kites. And panting means breathing quickly, short breath you take when you run or you do something strenuous thing, you are panting. So these are the new words from this lesson. Children, thank you.